that time of year again. It is time to plunge the bulbs. But rather than just having the usual video of me planting my daffodils and putting them in the plunge, I've got such a fun day today. I'm heading up to Saughton with loads of other Scottish content creators. So I've got the YouTube guys, I've got Instagram guys, and we're all having fun and doing it together. We're calling it a plunge party. Oh. Okay, so we're ready to go. The fun and games for today then is, as you guys know, we've been starting this journey already. We've got Sandra from About the Garden and the Mags from My Country Garden joining in. But I got a hold of someone else and asked them if they want to join in. So we've got extras today. How fabulous.
What's that?
Guy, hello. Favour, what are you doing just now?
I'm actually in the middle of filming. I'm just cutting back my tomatoes, I'm sure that's the same that you do, preparing for next spring.
Cool. Okay, cool. Okay, in which case then, how do you fancy joining in with the big daffodil grow along? Yeah?
Sure,
Go on, it'll be fun, go on.
Yeah, I guess.
What we're doing then is jump in the car and come and meet us at Saughton Park in Edinburgh. We've got Mags and Sandra joining in as well, so we're going to have another Scottish YouTuber meet up.
Okay.
You up for it, yeah?
Yeah, I'm up for that, definitely.
You might need to bring those daffodils you bought that I know you bought the other
Okay.
day. Bring them, we'll get you all planted up and you can find out all the rest of it when you get here.
Good.
Good?
Right? Okay.
Okay, I'll see you there.
I'm coming.
But the guys should all hopefully be on their way. It's very, very windy today. Storm Amy has hit and it's crazy. So I hope the guys are all okay.
Here, you!
Hurrah! Made it! Oh, so it's going to be so much fun today. We've got loads of us in the greenhouse, planting our bulbs and then putting them in the plunge. But of course, I've already done a bunch of mine at home because you guys know I've also got my plunge at home as well. Okay, just need to find a parking space now. Oh, it's busy today. 3 litre pots that I've just washed. Now, the reason for the 3 litre pots is because all of these daffodils are being grown for the Cali Spring Show. So these are my daffodils that I'm going to be entering in the competition in April. Now, as part of the rules for the competition, if you want to enter a pot of daffodils, you're not allowed anything bigger than a 3 litre pot. But if you want to enter cut daffodils, you can just grow them in any way you want. You can grow them in the garden, you can put one in a pot this size, you can put them in little pots, bigger pots, because you're going to cut that blooming into the single bloom. However, folks, here's my cunning plan. I'm planting everything in these 3 litre pots because I make it a pot where all the daffodils are glorious and I may then want to enter that pot. Whereas if I plant a specific pot to enter and they don't do that well, then that pot's a goner and I can't enter it. So this way I've got the best of both worlds. These are my daffodils. I have Mount Hood, I have Minnow, I have Barrett Browning, Thalia, I have Double White, Tahiti and Orange Comet. These are all different colours and different divisions. So let's get planting up. For those of you who like to know, I have a potting mix I have made up. You do not have to do anything fancy for your bulbs. You can just put them in normal compost. But you can also buy bulb compost, which is really fibrous. The reason being, you don't want these guys to sit in the wet and rot. You want it to be really, really free draining. So I've just made up a free draining mix like I normally do. Okay, so let's get these full. Now what I'm going to do, there are two schools of thought on planting your bulbs. And if you watch lots of videos about people growing for show, you will see two ways of doing it. What you'll see sometimes is people will just sit the bulb on the top like that. And they'll do that with all of their bulbs. And they will grow them like that. They'll put that in the plunge. That's it, done. Okay? The reason for that, usually they fill the pot right to the top with compost and they place the bulbs on top because they're trying to maximise the amount of compost for those bulbs to grow in. Okay? The other way of doing things is to put your bulbs in but then top it up and cover it up to the neck. And when you do this though, you're being careful. You don't want to knock those bulbs over because it may be show bulbs, but it's the same rules as every time you plant bulbs. Plant them in the garden, in a pot. You always plant pointy end up. So don't knock them over. Okay? It's my first lot. Double white. Now, I've got quite a few of these. Now, again, just like you always do with your bulbs, whether it's in the garden or in a pot, you pick the biggest and best. And when you plant them, you make sure there's space between them so they're not touching. The reason for that being, if any of them have any problems and they're touching, they're likely to spread that problem if there's rot or disease or whatever. There we go. Pot 2. Now I'm going to put up the rest of these in exactly the same way and then they're going in the plunge. So I'll tell you what. While I'm doing this, let's pop over to the Cali workshop and we'll meet the guys and we'll see what's going on with everyone's bulbs. Then we can come back and get them in the plunge. It may be horrible and stormy. It's super windy and rainy. But check this out, folks, look. All the Scottish YouTubers in the house wave. Whee! All the Instagrammers pull a pose. So here's the thing that is brilliant about today. So we've got this whole glass house. It's just full of content creators. This is a big Scottish content creator meetup for doing the Spring Bulb Show. And it's so funny to just go around and see the amount of cameras and tripods. It's really fun for me because I'm used to being the only one doing this. And I feel like I found my people, folks. I found the other internet weirdos. So we've got Instagrammers going on the phones. We've got YouTubers with their fancy GoPros, top down.
Eli will have that on our camera.
What was that?
I was like, I'll watch the picture next. And she's like, I think you should just crack open the sweets.
Oh, I'm up for that, yep. So, yeah, so as I mentioned, everyone else is having to do their own filming. Somebody brought their camera person.
What can I say?
So, look, you can always tell the influencers, look, cameras everywhere.
Where the big guys enter, so I got a couple of prizes there. I think
We have Maeve's garden.
Hi.
My country garden.
Hello.
We have Guy from On You Grow. Check out the shirt, look at this.
I can prepare.
We have Sandra from About the Garden.
Hello.
And she has a camera woman. How come I don't have a camera woman? And we have Gillian from Root and Branch Gardening. And the lovely Gabrielle. You guys know Gabrielle?
trouble, I'm back.
I'm offended by that trouble, me. So, I invited somebody new to join in with the whole bulb fun. Check this out.
Hi guys.
Tell us about you.
Well, I'm Guy and my channel is On You Grow. I've been doing this for about a year now. I just love gardening. I've got a plot on the west of Scotland and I mostly grow veg, but she tricked me into this, so we are going to try for the first time to grow some bulbs.
Well, you know, you went to so much effort to get here.
That's true. Yeah, the wind was pretty bad, but made it here.
Must have been hard on the legs on that go-kart, mate.
That was hard. That was hard. I need to bring it back home though.
So, On You Grow, go and check him out and see how his bulbs are doing.
Do we have a bin?
Yeah, it's not following Mags anymore.
Fabulous.
I want to be the centre of attention.
I'm in a huff. Trying to make a video and my camera's following Mags around. So, first time this year I'm doing hyacinths. I've never grown hyacinths before. There are some in the garden, but they were there when we bought the house. We didn't plant them, and I don't look after them at all. So this year I'm actually attempting to grow them on purpose, which means they'll die. Yes. Oh, put it so it's my name, easy to find. So because I'm going to put these in the plunge at the Cali, which you'll see later, you've got to make sure your name's on the labels so that when they take it out they can find your bulbs. It's important. So that's one. Scamp. So do you remember last year I got to enter the Scamp Challenge, and it was a real favour last year because I was new, and normally you only get this if you're known on the gardening spring bulby show thing. So I'm actually entering proper this year because I'm a reigning champion. Not of this, I didn't win this. Now, how it works with Scamp is, and I've got a shelf, everybody gets the same bulbs. We get to enter one bloom, and then it's all judged. And the person that wins gets vouchers so they can buy more daffodils. Hurrah! So you saw me do the hyacinths and how big they are. The daffodils are obviously quite a bit smaller. Oh. Now, I was getting asked this earlier on. That's your main bulb. That's a wee baby. That one is not going to flower this year. If you're very, very gentle and careful, you can actually separate them. I'll have that one for the house or the garden, but that's my ones for here. And I'm making sure there's space. I'll do it again, very careful. There we go. And I'm going to cover these up to the necks so they're nice and secure in the pot. Because I don't want them getting knocked around.
Should I be sinking that right in?
That's perfect. As long as it's not going to fall out, that's fine. Right, so hi.
Why is it starting dancing?
It's her. It's totally got a thing about Mags.
It's probably the blue gloves.
I was like,
Yeah. There we go. Right. We'll wait on them all catching up. Oh, the wind's picking up. Hurrah! It's chilly and the wind is picking up. Right folks, this is the Cali plunge, okay? So it's exactly the same as the plunge you might have at home. The difference being Pam and Gillian are going to look after it for you here. Okay, so basically pick a spot and just get all your pots in there nice and settled. Keep your pots together if you can, because it just makes it easier for the guys to get them out at the end. But exactly like that. Yep. Oh, so with your labels, get them in nice and deep, yeah, so they don't get knocked out. Okay, and then once everyone's got their pots in here tomorrow, we'll get it all filled up with compost. Nobody's going to be able to hear a thing. What's this one called?
Amy?
Storm Amy. Storm Amy, and we're plunging pots.
Amy Winehouse music over it and blame that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, top secret one for you guys then, because yous are my favourites. I discovered from doing this last year, if you get the spots up near the walls, you just get straighter, better, stronger daffodils. The ones at the end, I think it's the heat that comes off the wall and the protection. Okay. Whose are these? Sunnyside yours?
No.
So we're back. This is my plunge at home. And quite honestly, it's just a big raised bed that I've taken loads of the soil out of. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bury the pots with the bulbs in them in here. I'm going to plunge them into the earth, if you like. Now here's the thing, right? This is just a way of controlling what you're growing for the show. You could just plant your bulbs into the garden like normal, and I actually have lots of daffodils in the garden that I might enter if they're decent. In fact, I did it last year. But what this does is it lets me keep them in pots, remember, in case I want to enter a pot of daffodils. It keeps it in a nice controlled area. I know where everything is. Nothing's going to get lost. And I can kind of protect them a little bit, if you like. I'm going to put some chicken mesh over the top, and it'll protect them from the squirrels, mice, anything like that. So that's what a plunge is. Now the thing is, your plunge could be a big plastic box. It could be your raised bed at home, one of the metal raised beds. I've seen people make a plunge out of paving slabs, bits of slate. All you need is just an area that you can control, and that's your plunge. Now, I did get asked this. Do you need to use compost or sand or something else? And it's a really good question, because last year I actually used sand to bury my pots in. I didn't know why people use sand. I'd seen other people do it, so I just copied them. This year I'm just going to use compost. Now, I've got a little bit of space at that end, and I'm going to save that space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some wood or something at this side just to block it off, and I'm going to cover these guys here. The reason I'm saving that spot is that's for my tulips, because tulips don't get planted until a bit later on. There's a problem called tulip fire. It's a disease tulips can get, and if you plant them later, there's less chance of that happening. So I'm going to be doing them in November, end of November maybe. Okay, so you can see I've got a few inches on top here that I can now fill with soil, and that's just going to mimic real life. You'd bury the bulbs a few inches deep. You know that old drill? 3 times the size of the bulb? That's roughly what you've got here. Right, I have to get the soil in now. Now here's a trick. When you're filling your plunge, cover your pots so that they're protected, and then you can just tip the rest in. and do it much faster. But if you do it this way, it means you've protected your bulbs. There's less chance of them moving around in the pots with the force of you pouring more compost in. There we go then. The daffodils are plunged for another show. Come back in February when we lift them and all the growing fun starts then. It's much quieter in here today, as you can see. That was yesterday. What a fantastic day. Having all the other Scottish guys involved is fantastic, and it's going to be brilliant this year at the show. So make sure you go and you check out Sandra at About the Garden, Mags in My Country Garden, and of course Guy from On You Grow. And then follow the journeys as we all grow our bulbs for the show this year. See you folks.